He was the gambler who became a general, the con man who found a cause worth fighting for. Lando Calrissian's life was one of charm, luck, and daring, from the sabacc tables of the Outer Rim to the front lines of galactic history. And now, in the twilight of his years, the man who once bet everything on a single card faces one final choice, the only one that truly matters. Welcome to another ChatGPT writes a character's end in the EU. As you've seen, we're going over Lando. Let's read Lando Calrissian, Last Gambit. A year had passed since Leia Organa Solo became one with the Force. Her loss still echoed across the galaxy, in the halls of the Jedi Temple, in the chambers of the Galactic Alliance, and in the hearts of her closest friends. Lando felt it more deeply than most. Leia had been his friend through every era, the wars, the rebuilding, the politics, and the laughter that somehow managed to cut through it all. Now, standing aboard the Love Commander... What? Now, standing aboard the Love Commander, his private luxury yacht, Lando looked out at the swirling blue expanse of Debrillion's oceans. The waves shimmered like polished sabacc chips beneath the sunlight. Behind him, Tendra, his wife, approached, still elegant after all these years. She placed a gentle hand on his shoulder. "You're thinking about her again." Lando nodded. "I can't help it. Leia was one of the greats. When she went, it felt like the galaxy lost its compass." Tendra smiled faintly. "You always said she kept you honest." Lando chuckled softly. "Well, she tried." The years had been kind to him, in their own way. His hair was silver now, his stride slower, but his eyes still carried that familiar spark, the same one that had once bluffed imperial governors and outmaneuvered smugglers on a whim. His son, Lando Calrissian Jr., better known to friends as Chance, entered the room with a datapad in hand. "Mom, Dad, message from the Jedi Temple. Master Skywalker sends his regards." Lando took the pad, scanning it briefly. "Luke always was a good man. Probably thinks I need another meditation retreat." Tendra laughed. "You could use one." Chance grinned. "I'm just impressed they still put up with Dad's old war stories." "Hey now," Lando said, pointing playfully. "Those old war stories kept this galaxy turning." Later that evening, Lando walked through the landing platforms of his estate. The stars glimmered like chips scattered across a cosmic sabacc table. He paused by the Lady Luck, still pristine and polished, the ship that had carried him through more adventures than he could count. He rested a hand against the hull. "You've still got it, girl. We both do, don't we?" Tendra joined him, watching the sky. "Do you ever regret slowing down?" Lando smiled. "Regret? Never. I won more than I ever had a right to. Friends, family, the galaxy itself." He looked at her and added softly, You were the best gamble I ever made." Tendra leaned into him, her voice warm. "Then maybe it's time you folded your last hand while you're ahead." He laughed gently, spoken like someone who's never seen me lose. Days later, Lando received an invitation from the Alliance, a memorial on Coruscant, 1 year to the day since Leia's passing. He couldn't say no. When he arrived, the great city planet was quieter than usual. A soft rain fell, shimmering against the lights of the Senate district. Within the memorial hall, a statue of Leia stood illuminated by golden light. Luke Skywalker was there, flanked by Jaina and a few Jedi from the next generation. They greeted Lando warmly. Luke smiled. "She'd be happy you came." "I wouldn't miss it," Lando said. "She always said I'd outlive everyone just to give the eulogies." They shared a small laugh, though the sadness hung in the air like mist. As they departed, Luke paused. "You've given a lot to this galaxy, Lando. Maybe it's time you gave something to yourself." Lando nodded. "Maybe so, old friend. Maybe so." When he returned to Debrillon, something inside him shifted. He spent the following weeks finishing small things, clearing accounts, recording messages, even restoring the Lady Luck one last time. He took one final trip, this time with Tendra and Chance, into the Corellian trade spine, to the very edges of the old smuggler's run, not to fight or trade, but simply to see the stars one more time. He sat in the cockpit, hand resting on the throttle, eyes tracing the light of distant worlds. "You know," he said, smiling to his son, "back in my day, we didn't have half these rules. You just took a chance and flew." Chance smirked. "Guess that's why you named me that." Lando grinned wider. "Best hand I ever played, kid." That night, when the stars over Debrillion burned brighter than usual, Tendra found Lando sitting quietly on the terrace, overlooking the sea. The wind carried the scent of salt and rain. He turned his head slightly. "Beautiful night, isn't it?" Tendra smiled sadly. "It is." Lando's voice softened. "You and Chance. You're my jackpot. Everything else was just the ante." She took his hand, holding it tightly. He exhaled, slow and peaceful, eyes drifting toward the horizon. The waves shimmered gold beneath the rising dawn as Lando Calrissian, gambler, general, and legend, closed his eyes for the last time. The log. Weeks later, friends from across the galaxy gathered on Debrillion for his memorial. Luke stood at the podium beside Jaina. The Lady Luck rested nearby, gleaming under the sun, her engines permanently silenced, a monument to a lifetime of daring. Luke began. Lando Calrissian was many things. A gambler, a hero, a dreamer, but, above all, he was a believer. He believed in luck, in second chances, and in people, even when the odds were impossible. Jaina smiled softly. He taught us that courage doesn't always come from destiny. Sometimes it comes from taking one more chance. As the ceremony ended, Chance Calrissian, now grown, confident, and quietly proud, stepped forward and touched the ship's hull. "See you in the stars, Dad." The engines flared once, one final time, before fading into silence. Lando Calrissian's story wasn't about destiny. It was about choice, about daring to dream in a galaxy that often forgot how to. From the mines of Kessel to the skies of Bespin, he lived by his own code: charm, courage, and just enough luck to keep going. With Leia gone and Lando's legend at rest, the galaxy entered a quieter era, one that would one day lead to new heroes and new struggles, as history repeated itself in cycles of light and shadow. But, for now, the cards were finally laid down and the old gambler could rest. Let me know if you enjoyed this in the comments down below, and feel free to have suggestions of any character that you would like to see in this series or any other event or anything like that. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you enjoyed, and until next time, thanks for watching.